Hello and welcome to this AirShare video where we're going to show you how to get all your social media analytics from the social networks into your dashboard with the no-code tool Parabola. And generally speaking, when we talk about dashboards, there's often a database behind the dashboard. And that database could really be anything that you use, including a spreadsheet. So like I said, we're going to be using the Parabola tool, which is a great no-code workflow tool. And of course, we're going to be using the AirShare API. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to close these two tabs. Here we're on the Parabola home screen where you can see two workflows that I recently created. We're going to dive into them and see exactly how they work. But first, you need an AirShare account. It can be a premium account. It can be a business account to get all of your analytics. And you go to your social accounts section and you link all the social accounts that you need to get analytics for. So let's go ahead and link Facebook. And now we're going to link X, formerly known as Twitter. Great. Those two are linked, and we're going to pull our social profile data from Facebook and Twitter. And we can click on the API docs, take a quick look at how to do that. AirShare has a ton of capabilities, lots of powerful endpoints. We're going to be using the analytics endpoint, and more specifically, we're going to be using the analytics/social endpoint, which is analytics on a social network. So we'll be able to get all the data on our Facebook user profile and on our X Twitter user profile. And the way that you make the call is you send in your authorization, which is your API key or your profile key, and you send in the platforms. Now you can send in multiple platforms to get the data across multiple social networks in one response. We're actually going to be making two calls. So one of the calls will send in Facebook as the platform, and one of the calls will send in Twitter as the platform. I'm going to leave the docs open here in the tab. We're going to jump into Parabola and see how these calls are made. So these two work very similarly. Let's take a look at the Facebook one. And I've already created the workflow. It pulls the data from the AirShare API and it sends it to two destinations, a Parabola table and a Google Sheet. And the reason that I did this is so we can quickly see the data in the Parabola table right in the web app, and it sent it to a Google Sheet, but it certainly could be sending it to a database. So let's go ahead and edit this and take a look at how this works. So first, we're pulling data from the API. So what are we doing? We're making this call. We need to make a post call to this endpoint, which is /analytics/social. And we can see here that we're making that call. It's a post call to the /analytics/social endpoint. We need to send in an authorization and platforms. For authorization, it takes the bearer API key. And for platforms, you could either send in an array or a single platform. So here, for authentication, you can see we're using the bearer token with our API key. In this case, it's actually a profile key, which we can get from the AirShare dashboard, and here it is. So we put that right in here. And for the body, we put in very simple JSON, which is platforms is Facebook. And then when we make the call, let's go ahead and make that call. We're going to get the results. So we can see there's 87 columns, which is 87 fields of results. And we can parse this by taking top level key is Facebook, second level key is analytics. Okay, this is all set. We can publish this. And if we click run, close this, click run. So it's going to actually make the call pull the data, and we can see here, this is the data that it pulled, and it also is sending it to a Google Sheet. Now, this Google Sheet is a sheet that we set up previously, and here you go. There are 2 rows of data, and we could schedule this to run every day. Let's go ahead and run this one more time. There we go. And now you can see there's 3 rows of data. So every day it's just going to append another row of data for this Facebook profile. And we could start building out a time series of historical data of this Facebook profile. Okay, great. Now we're going to go back into my flows very quickly. Let's just look at this X Twitter flow. I'm going to click edit draft. Again, we're just pulling the data, sending it to Google and to a parabola table. And again, we're doing the same thing. We're making a post call to the /analytics/social endpoint. We're sending in one platform, which is Twitter, and then we're parsing the JSON with Twitter and then analytics as the keys in order to get, for the case of X Twitter, 15 columns of data. Every social network returns a different data set, but once we have this all set up, we can publish it. And we can see here we have another tab with 2 rows of data for X. And now we're going to run it. And it's going to pull the data. And push it to the Google Sheet and the parabola table. And we can see here now we have 3 rows of data. So again, we can build out that time series of X social data. It's really that easy. All we have to do is take one endpoint from Airshare, connect it into a very simple flow in Parabola, and then pick the destination and have that data automatically sync every day. We hope that you've enjoyed this video from Airshare, and check out our YouTube channel for lots of other great videos, and check out our docs for more details on all the great features that you get with Airshare. Thank you.